Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new year and the first 2019 round of the Animal Artists Collective videos. If you're new around here, I'm Amy and let me tell you a little bit about the collective and its aims. The Animal Artists Collective was founded by Jennifer Charlie of Jennifer Charlie Art and Denise Soden of In Liquid Colour as a platform for emerging artists to promote positive messages for animal welfare and conservation and to connect artists to their communities. The original artwork produced for the Animal Artists Collective is always made available for sale, and at least 50% of the proceeds are donated to a non-profit animal conservation organisation. Every other month we create pieces of art based around a theme voted for by you guys. And FYI, if you want to have your say on the next round's theme, you can now vote on our Facebook page with the link in the description below. Unofficial participation is absolutely welcomed in the form of videos, artwork, anything you like, and if you do happen to create a piece, make sure you share it with us on our social media pages. The links to everything can be found below. So last year saw the themes based around biomes and habitats, so this year's themes are based around specific animal groups like mammals, reptiles, that kind of thing. And to kick off this year we're starting with insects. Now initially I was put off at the thought of drawing an insect as they are so different to my usual wildlife choice, and the fact that I've only ever drawn 2 insects previously, but you know, new year, new start, that kind of thing. So I decided to embrace this theme and go all out with my piece. As you can probably tell from the emerging artwork, my pick was, drumroll please, the Ladybird or Ladybug or whatever you want to call it. Where I live we call them Ladybirds, so that's what I'm sticking with for this video. Before I tell you about my process and thoughts behind this piece, let me lay down some facts about these teeny tiny creatures. First off, there's around 5,000 different species of ladybird, 46 of those living within the UK, and their scientific name is kind of something I really can't pronounce, so I'm just going to insert a little caption here for you so you can read it and try and pronounce it yourself. These little insects are one of the most common, and you'll most likely find your garden absolutely littered with them. So they're not exactly one which needs conservation, but they do need all the help and support they can get as they are absolutely crucial for the ecosystem. Ladybirds come in so many different colour and spot variations, the most iconic being red, like what I'm drawing here, and the 7-spot variety, which I believe is the one that I'm drawing. There are so many subtle differences between various species as I was looking this up, and I'm not that clued up on my beetles, so if I am wrong with the species that I'm drawing, please correct me in the comments. Ladybirds are a treat for your garden as they're natural pest controllers, and they feed on aphids, which are like the green fly type things you get, and scale insects. And those aphids and those scale insects, they eat right through the greenery in your garden. So not only are these little beetles super cute and shiny, they're so vital and an important part of the ecosystem as they help protect your crops. All those vegetables that you're thinking of growing and everything, they're going to help those from all of those pesky little beings. And some ladybirds consume up to 5,000 aphids in its lifespan, so that is a huge amount to eat. Ladybirds are also crafty little creatures, and they can lay their eggs within large aphid colonies, and once those ladybird larvae hatch, they start to eat all of the aphids surrounding them. So straight from hatching, they're your handy little garden pals. How about that? Now as a kid, I used to love trying to find ladybirds within my granddad's garden, and I'd always find them and count their spots to see how old they were. Did anybody else used to do this? I always tried to find the oldest ladybird within the garden, and I used to think that, I suppose like most children do, that their spots grew with age and that sort of denoted how old the ladybird was, and I was kind of devastated when I found out that that wasn't true. Those are such fun memories, and I even tried to keep ladybirds as pets. I used to pop them into a little wooden box, piling it with leaves and everything, and a little dish of water, and I remember getting really angry that the ladybird wasn't eating the leaf that I was presenting to it. Now I know that they don't really eat leaves, they just sort of eat the green fly and everything. I used to get really angry, and I even popped in like a little dish of water so it could have a drink or a swim or whatever. I don't know what ladybirds used to do. And then I'd leave them outside in the flower bed, or my granddad used to tell me to leave them in the flower bed because I wanted to take them into the house and like pet my little ladybird friends. But my granddad used to say to leave them in the flower bed. And when I come back in the morning, they had always flown away, and I was really kind of annoyed. But now I know that you can't keep ladybirds, guys. If you ever try and keep ladybirds, just don't do it. It's not a good idea, and you want to help your environment and your vegetables and everything. You want to keep them away from all of those pesky little green flies. So free your ladybirds if you're keeping them as pets. Let me tell you my thoughts behind this piece, and let's start with the size. I went for small scale for this as I thought it made much more sense than a large piece. Can you imagine a large, like humongous ladybird? I don't think it would make much sense, so I went for a smaller scale for this. Whatever I created was going to be a lot larger than life size anyway, so that's another reason why I kept it kind of small. The actual scale of my drawing here is just under 4 inches square, which was the perfect size for the amount of detail that I wanted to include, but it wasn't too large that it was going to look kind of really odd. I'd set myself some New Year art goals, and on that list was to create more artworks with a background. And the Ladybird provided a fantastic opportunity to draw my first piece with full background, and although it may be incredibly simple, I think it's a whole lot more effective than leaving the ladybird lost within a white blank page, which so many of my pieces are often left with. So this piece is my very first piece with full background. And this is also why I'm glad it was on such a small scale, as a larger piece with full background would have completely daunted me and I probably wouldn't have followed through with the piece. So yay for small scale and yay for full background. First piece of the year, and I've already completed one of my 3-piece target for full background, so yay, celebrations for me. This piece really didn't take me too long either, and the time just flew whilst I was drawing it, despite my initial apprehension of drawing an insect. My favourite part of this was adding all of the red tones and creating the shadow on the ladybird's shell. I used a different process here, and I didn't layer my usual warm or cold grey down first, surprise surprise. Experience has taught me that adding grey tone pencil tones under red often leaves it looking really muddy and it doesn't come out as bright. It looks a lot muted in colour, and I really wanted that really vibrant, that punchy red, so I went straight in with pink as my base tone and the first tones to add, and then I slowly built up to the darker reds. I used one of my favourite tricks for getting some amazing shadows, and that's by layering a little tiny bit of green within the red. Green neutralises red when mixed, and it creates a really great looking shadow. This also gave me the opportunity to incorporate the background colours into the actual beetle, which makes the piece super duper cohesive. And I also used those red tones for the shadows within the little grass seed area, so my colour scheme is well and truly incorporated throughout this piece. The background was a little bit of a thinker. Although it's really simple, this is the first time I've created something like this, and I spent a little time working out exactly how I'd execute it. I decided to use a little bit of solvent blender to help the process, and this meant that I didn't have to spend a long time layering and layering to get a smooth blended look. I just applied a few layers of coloured pencil, I blended with the solvent, and then I repeated the process. I think I repeated it twice, so it was super duper easy peasy in the end. I really love how this has turned out, and it's a much different piece to my norm. I kind of did a background with the last AAC piece of the polar bear, but this time I've gone all out and covered the entire white area with a background, and like I said, it's simple, but I think it's hella effective and it really makes the little ladybird pop. I'd love to know what you think of this piece in the comments below. Are you liking the addition of the background, or would you have preferred a clean white background? As always, this piece is available for purchase through my web shop. I'll leave a link below, as I always do, if you fancy snapping this piece up to add to your collection of art. 50% of the sale proceeds will be going towards my chosen charity, which is Bug Life. So not only will you own an original, you'll be helping a good cause too. If you fancy reading a little bit about this charity and its aims, I'll leave everything you need in the description box. Don't forget to check out the other insect pieces from all of the other members of the collective. I've seen one or two of the finished pieces, but I can't wait to check out the other videos and see the amazing pieces that have been created. Links to all the other artists are listed in the description, so please, please, please go and give them some love too and show your support for this round. If you fancy drawing along with me in real time and creating your own little ladybird, then the full tutorial is available to my patrons over on Patreon and to my website subscribers. All info is in the box below. If you like this video, then make sure you give it a super big thumbs up with that button below, and if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button and join my coloured pencil family. I upload new videos every single Friday and I live stream most Sundays too, so if you fancy watching a little real-time drawing and having a chat, then this is the place to be. We'd absolutely love to have you join the gang. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching this round of the Animal Artists Collective, and I will see you guys next week with a brand new coloured pencil video. See you later!